We are back at it again here with another video, and here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index. The SPY stock has done a full transition from the dip area on 42 vision to the rip area here of bright green bars, and now trying to hold itself up above the 409 resistance, trying to use it as support. Now, in today's volatility, our SPY bot at 12:05 p.m. it sent out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, inflows had crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 150% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY stock trying to hold itself up after hitting the resistance of 411, rejecting back down, and we need to talk about some key levels here in the charts, the inflow versus outflow, and the bull and bear indicators. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge over the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run of the day was from our QQQ bot. Our QQQ bot sent out a bear indicator since 9:45 a.m. And from that moment forward, outflows were below the midpoint, pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 200% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, doing a full transition from white with red borders to bright green bars today, after doing a full transition from Thursday to Monday from bright green bars to white with red borders. Now, if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY stock, the S&P 500 index, under a bull indicator since around 407, and inflows crossing over the midpoint. And today it struggled to stay strong, right? These outflows began, but all day the inflows tried holding up, and in the after hours, outflows have slightly crossed, guys. You could see that there, outflows slightly crossing below the midpoint. You can see it when we zoom in, the midpoint's up here, and it's a really, really close one here. And there was a huge amount of resistance at the 410 area in the first half of the day. And when that finally broke, it broke out and hit the highs here of 411, but a really tight range today, right? Between 410 and 408. And then it slightly went above 410 to 411. And quickly at the end of the day, the bears reappeared here, dropping it from 411 down to 409. So this was a very volatile, compressed day. And you could see it in the inflow versus outflow, how those outflows were dominating in the first half of the day. They had not crossed the midpoint till the end of it, but it was actually the push of downward trend so far as we saw it, right? Going from inflows of 2.24 all the way down to the midpoint, trying to jump back up with inflows of 0.87, but quickly at the end of the day, losing traction and now below it at minus 0.0071 to be exact, based off the inflow versus outflow. So outflows are dominating again here on the 30-minute, and it's going to be crucial for these inflows to pick back up and hold strong this bull indicator and go ahead and hold strong the support here of the day and try to retest this resistance level and break out from there to newer highs. That's going to be crucial. That's going to be critical. And let's talk about it here. What are the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow? So the first thing is we are currently sitting under a bull indicator on the 30-minute. But when we zoom out to the 1 hour, we could see here a bull indicator yesterday around 408.32. And the fact that inflows are still above the midpoint. There's a chance here for this to actually consolidate and switch from red to green, go back up, and pull further away from the midpoint. Right now, it's currently sitting at 0.65 of inflows, even though it's red. We want to see it turn green and try to reflect that strength into the charts. Now, we are still under dark and bright green bars here, but the difference is from yesterday's is that today the dark green bars have red borders. Now, that tends to be weakness in the chart, and if it were to continue, the next piece of the transition would be red bars, as you see right here. And the next piece after that, if the weakness is going to further confirm, is a bear indicator followed by outflows crossing to the downside. So I would not ignore that. That is something to not overlook here on the 1 hour chart for the SPY, right? The SPY stock is looking pretty weak here, trying to fight to hold itself up. What a strong move to the upside here. And in the second half of the day towards the end, the outflows began to dominate here. They haven't crossed the midpoint, but they started to reflect pretty fast into the chart, going from 411 all the way back down to 409, the support that was used all day to go ahead and push itself up. Very interesting in a matter of minutes that it pulled back that much. Now, when you zoom out even further, right, and we look at this from the 4 hour, we can see here that on the 4 hour, inflows have crossed back over since yesterday, okay? And it's been under a bull indicator since way down here at the 397 mark back on March 29th. And you could see that full move and strength from the 397 to the highs here of 412. Came down, it found support. It's been ranging here above 407, 406, and it's pushing itself back up with inflows going upwards and above the midpoint, currently sitting at 2.66 of inflows on the 4 hour chart. And based off the history of the chart, the inflows hit highs here when it went all the way up to 412 of about 10 to 11.1, guys. This is something to not ignore. It has room to go higher if these inflows want to go higher, right? And right now they're pushing upwards, and based off the history of the chart, it's not guaranteed to make the same exact move, but it has room based off the previous reaction once it crossed over and pushed up. And previous to that one, the highs were up here at 6.4, 6.8, and then also here 2.16, and we're slightly above that level, but the others have room to go higher, right? Based off the history of the chart. So we're under a bull indicator on multiple time frames. The one that's having more volatility right now is the 30-minute. If this weakness continues and reflects into the chart pretty quickly and these outflows continue lower, a bear indicator may pop up that can cancel out this bull indicator. And then on the 15-minute, we are currently under a bear indicator here on this big bar from 410.78 down to 409.24, and outflows crossed over, and we're currently below the midpoint at negative 0.8912 to be exact. And the bull indicator from yesterday and the bull indicator earlier today in the afternoon has been canceled by this bear indicator up here. This one was a little bit of volatility. Things actually got canceled there. Weakness actually ended up no longer existing, because if you zoom into the 5-minute, things started to move back up pretty quickly. But a pretty choppy morning until it finally had strength and the bulls broke through 410 to hit the highs up there of 411. But here we are with a bear indicator on the 15-minute, with outflows below the midpoint, and if the weakness continues and rolls over into the 30-minute, we may see this bull indicator get canceled, get a bear indicator in the charts, retest the supports, and get these outflows to possibly go even further down, okay? Now, if that happens, the first support level that I would watch is 409, and then below that comes 407, and below 407 comes the 405 mark, where the triple bottom has formed. It's been the strength here to make things hold up before going lower, and if that gets broken through, that is the lowest point that we've seen since the pullback up here from 412 to the downside. We've been ranging here, and the highest that we've gone is 411 so far. And if the 405 mark gets broken through, the next support level below that is the 402, and then comes the 400 mark, guys. That is the critical levels to the downside. And to the upside, if there's strength here, the first resistance level is 412, guys. That is the high up here that we recently saw, and we've already hit up to 411. We definitely want to see this break above that. Then comes 412, and above 412, based off the history of the chart, is the 415 area. Those are the crucial levels, and it's going to be important for these inflows to pick up. Hold these bull indicators true to continue the staircase effect here on the 30-minute. Cancel out the bear indicator here on the 15-minute. Reflect that strength back into the charts. Get these inflows back above the midpoint as you see it there. It is currently sitting below it. And on the 1 hour, to go ahead and stop those outflows, right, from continuing towards the midpoint, if not finding support and pulling up with it, right, as we see it to the upside on the other time frames, and continue the staircase effect. Hold this bull indicator true and push up higher to test those resistance levels of 412, 415. And on the bigger picture, what I found very interesting, while all this volatility is going on, is that the 4-hour has these inflows back above the midpoint and pushing upwards and green, okay? If this were to slow down, it's going to be important to watch and see how the lower time frames are getting impacted, and do we start to see red bars appear here on the 4-hour, because right now they're all green, dark green and bright green so far, and under a bull indicator since down here at around 397.50 mark. So that is something to not ignore after hitting the highest point of 412, and today it was around the 411 area. So very crucial, very critical as we're up here and close to these levels. These are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside and to the downside. I'm going to watch the bull and bear indicators very carefully, and the inflow versus outflow, especially with the 30-minute right there at the midpoint, and trying to see if it pulls itself back up, since it does not have a bear indicator just yet and still has this bull indicator in effect. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.